In this video, I'll show you how to use URL filters within your Liquid code. URL filters basically allow you to construct or extract components from the part of a URL. Now, there are various options available for you to use within this URL filter, namely base, host, path, path and query, port, add query, remove query, and scheme. So you can use all these components to either construct a URL or extract the component from a URL string. Now let me show you in action. So I'm in Power Pages site over here. I've created one page called as December and it has a H3 text URL filter in it. If you want to navigate to the code, you can go to edit code over here. That will open the Visual Studio Code editor, and this is what where you're going to write the liquid code. Now, the liquid code which we are going to write is basically take an example of a simple URL. Now, the URL, so take for example, this is a simple URL. So I'm writing a liquid code over here. So https colon slash slash girishupal.com. So this is a URL which we are going to work on. Now, this is a simple URL. Now, what if we make it a bit complex and add a directory or a path, and I'll just call it as a blog, and I will add a query string. So page equal to one, and I'll add one more query string, query equal to action, or I'll just say q1 equal to action, and I'll add one more query string. I'll just call it as cost equal to 200. So this is a simple URL. So as you see over here, the URL has various components. It has a scheme, it has a path, it has a query string, it has a directory. So if you want to extract all this component, then you can extract it from this section. So let me add a BR. So first thing, if you want to add a query to a uh, so I'll just add a simple URL. So https colon slash slash google.com. Okay, so if you want to add a query to this particular URL, then you can make use of the liquid filter add underscore query, and you can specify what do you want to add. So query has a name and value as a parameter. So if you want to say add page comma 5, okay, so this will form that URL and then it will add that query string. Okay, so if you want to see how it works, so I'll just save this, sync it, and refresh the page. So what we have done, we have just created one URL with a query string which will just render as it is with no filtering applied to it, and the second one is we have added a string URL, and we have just said add this as a query string. So now as you see over here, it has added this as a query string. So question mark page equal to 5. This is how the query string is added to the URL. Right. Now, um, let's extract component. Now this is the URL which we have created, right? Now let's use this URL to extract some component. So I'm just going to copy this code over here again, and from here I'm going to extract something. So what I'm going to extract, I'm going to extract the base part. So the base part of the URL. Now apart from base part, you can do other things as well. So you can extract the host component. So base, you can extract the host component from here. You can even extract the scheme from here. So I'll just say type in scheme. So you can extract the base, you can extract the scheme, and also you can extract the port part from here. So these are the things which you can extract from this URL. So let's run this and see. So base, host, scheme, and port. So let me refresh it again and see the output. So the base part, uh, host part, and the scheme part. Okay. So as you see over here, the base part is this one, girishupal.com. This is the host part. This is the scheme part, and this is the port part. So as this is HTTPS, it will give you the port as 443. And this is how you can extract the component. So let me put a break here as well. Yeah, right. What are the other things which you can get? You can get something called as a path. Okay, so let me copy this, the whole thing, and you can you can extract the path from this URL. So the path, so basically this is the path, right? This is the path. And if you want to extract the whole thing, the path and the query, yes, you can do that. So I'll just write this code again, copy this here, and instead of path, just specify path underscore and underscore query, and save this. Now the thing which we are doing is we are doing some extraction operation from the URL. So we are telling that I want to extract the path. So as you see over here, we have extracted the path. And also I said I want to extract the path along with the query. So as you see over here, so HTTPS, the host name, the path and query. So once you have all these things, you can extract anything from the URL. You can extract the scheme, you can extract the port, you can extract the base URL. So all these things can be done. Apart from that, you can also manipulate the query. Now as you see over here, this is a URL. Okay, now here if you think that, hey, I do not want page one, or maybe if you're using a filtering logic, take for example, and now you want to manipulate page equal to one, like, or maybe you just say, now for the next part I don't want cost to be passed as a part of the URL. I want to remove this. Yes, you can go ahead and remove this. And how do you remove it? You just say remove underscore query. So if we use remove underscore query, and then you need to specify what I'm going to remove it. Now I'm going to remove cost, or maybe you're going to remove Q1, or you're going to remove page one. Okay, whatever is the thing you want to remove, you can go ahead and remove that. In my case, I'm going to remove the cost, and I'll just save this. And once I save this, I will I can the output would be the cost will be removed. Similarly, if I just copy this thing, and if I want to add something instead of removing, I can add on top of it. So instead of remove underscore query, I'll just say I want to add a query, and that will be lock or location, comma. So I'll just say I want to add location, comma, US. Okay, or maybe localis US or whatever. So add underscore query. So we have seen two examples, remove query and add query. Just save this and run. So in one case, we are removing the query string item, and in another case, we are adding query string item to the URL. So these are the different ways through which you can manipulate the URL. So there are two actions which you are performing. One is like you have a URL, and then you are uh, manipulating, adding query, removing queries, or doing all those operations. And in other set of queries, you are just extracting the component from the URL, like the host or the port or the scheme or the local name. So as you see over here in this example, we have successfully removed the cost from the query string, and here we are adding a query string location equal to US, right? So you can add a query and you can remove a query as well. So that's it, folks. This is all about using the URL filter to manipulate the URL or extract component from the URL in your Power Pages site. Thanks for watching.